Okay, we are live. Are you ready? This is what we've been waiting for all weekend. It is, of course, your Grand Prix. And what an interesting grid we will be starting off with today. You got Oscar Piastri P1, Lando Norris P2, Max Verstappen P3, George Russell P4, Kimi Antonelli up there P5. Isaac Hadjar P6, great qualifying performance from him. Carlos Sainz P7, another solid qualifying performance from him. Fernando Alonso, wow, nice to see the Aston Martin up in the top 10. P8, Pierre Gasly, that is remarkable to get the Alpine up on the 5th row in P9. And Charles Leclerc, probably a qualifying session you'd rather forget, along with Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc's down in P10 in the fastest of the Ferraris. Then you got Liam Lawson. Then you got Nico Hulkenberg, Liam Lawson, Behrman, Bortoletto, Albon, Yuki Tsunoda down in P16, Esteban Ocon, Lewis Hamilton, Lance Stroll, and Franco Colapinto. Hey Gemma, hey Only True, nice to have you in the chat. If you haven't joined us, this is F1 Grandstand. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so, please. Very much appreciated. If you do enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash a like on it as soon as you can. That does make a big difference to the success of the channel. And if you hit the notification bell, that'll keep you up to date with all of our content. So yeah, today, what have you got? On the screen, you've got live timings. To the right of your screen, you can see all the drivers, the current position, tyres that they're on, sector times, fastest laps, previous laps. All of those deltas are there on the screen for you. We've also obviously got the track, so you can see which cars are out on track. But all the information you could possibly need to accompany your viewing experience with today's Qatar Grand Prix. I'm Tony Craig. Ask anything you like in the chat. So Only True, he's got his conspiracy theory head on. He thinks the FIA are completely manipulating this season. He could be right. Like, listen, I'm not a judge. I don't think it's beyond them. We have seen evidence of them doing it before. 2021, I'd say there's a fair argument, and that's the FIA manipulating the results. I think you could also look all the way back to, well, you definitely could look all the way back to 1984, 1988, 1989. Senna, Prost, Ballesteri, you know, literally manufacturing results to make sure his boy Alain Prost won the championship instead of Ayrton Senna. So yeah, I don't put it beyond the FIA. But as for today, Piastri qualifying P1. He's making a go of it, isn't he? We'll get in the chat and tell him what you think, but he's making a go of it. Gemma says it plays into making the sport more watchable. You're saying about you're talking about the soap opera of it. The soap opera of it. The fact that the FIA could be constructing a situation where we could go into a 3-way final Grand Prix of this season. And even are they helping Max Verstappen win the championship? I mean, look, I don't like to think that's what's going on. But right now, Gemma, what I like to see is the fact that Oscar Piastri is quicker than Lando Norris. And he has been quicker than him all weekend. So I like to see that fight in the young boy. He's, it's only his 3rd season. He was really, dominant with over a 30-point lead in the midway point. And then we've had a huge swing back into Lando's favour. So, yeah, I'm delighted to see Piastri up there putting a fight up there. If he gets away cleanly, they're very difficult to overtake. It's a high downforce, high grip circuit. Great for Oscar Piastri, as we've seen all weekend. If Piastri gets away clean, I think there's a good chance he will start and lead the race. Barring any weird pit stop incidents, as we know. Hey, Legend, there's an imposed 25 lap limit on the tyres due to the fact that these curbs are high, and Pirelli have said that these tyres are susceptible to blowouts. So excuse me, warm up lap. Here we go. First lap, first corner. So I'm just adjusting my trousers. Getting excited. Here we go. Start the Grand Prix. Everything you could possibly need on your screens. Hey, Andrew. Nice to have you with us, my friend. Oh, my camera there just searching for focus. Only true scenario: Lando, DNF, Max win, Piastri second in Abu Dhabi, Max in 395, Lando 396, and Piastri 392. No J, Oscar to lead and win. Max overtakes Norris, and Russell sneaks past Norris for Oscar, Max, Russell, Norris, Charles. Possible. I'm thinking we could get a Piastri win. Right. Let me just work this out. I think we could get a Piastri win. I think we could get a George Russell, Lando Norris entanglement, Norris DNF. How about that? How about that for juicy? How about that for juicy? And then Piastri win, and then Max Verstappen P2, and a DNF from Lando Norris. Ooh, we'd be getting juicy then, wouldn't we? Wouldn't Abu Dhabi be getting quite exciting if that happens? It's possible. It is possible. So yeah, it is all to play for. You do not want to miss the start of this Grand Prix. They're on the formation lap right now. This race could be won and lost. Lap 1, turn 1. Very difficult to overtake here. Okay, lining up on grid now. There's 2 McLarens at the front. If Max gets a good start here and can put a move. Hey, Chef, let's go Oscar. I'm with you on this one. I'm rooting for Oscar today. Gemma says the Beckhams are there. Yeah, I'm surprised he's there. He normally likes watching my stream, David. So, old Bex. Has he got F1 GRANDSTAND on his phone whilst he's watching the Grand Prix? I know he likes to do that normally. True story. David Beckham. F1 GRANDSTAND's biggest fan. Yeah, Gary Neville loves it as well. Elijah, yes. Mark Reeves is in. Just in time. Just in time. Just in time for lap 1 first. Yeah, lap 1, turn 1. Colapinto starting from the pit lane. Got to remember, Pierre Gasly with a fantastic qualifying there to be qualifying in the top 10. P9 for Gasly. I've got butterflies, Martin Brundle. Martin Brundle saying he's got butterflies. I've got butterflies. This is an exciting time. Andrew says, I'm going to go out on a limb and state that we will probably have a better time on this live than watching the race. I hope so. That's what it's about. It's about community. Okay. Red lights. Lights out. Let's go. Good start from Piastri. Great start from Verstappen. Wheel to wheel with Lando Norris. Where's George Russell? Verstappen makes it stick. Verstappen through to P2. First corner. Norris staying within track limits, though. He's keeping it tight. Piastri pulling out a gap already. So Lando allowing Verstappen to pass him. Really great move from Max. I mean, let's see who is on. In fact, it's not even though Max is on the soft tyre, all on the medium tyre. I half thought Max would start on the soft, actually. But he still put a move on Lando and he's made it stick. The Ferraris of Leclerc and Hamilton still look like they're struggling. Hamilton has actually, I speak to you soon, Hamilton up 2 places. 3 places. Hamilton attacking Lawson. Hamilton's on the soft tyre. Of course he is. Exactly the right move for him. Soft, medium, medium will be a good choice if you are trying to fight at the beginning to make up some places. So great start for Piastri. He's got the clean air. I think honestly at this point, I know it sounds boring, but clean start. Piastri getting away, barring any silliness or mistakes. You know, it should be right in his wheelhouse to lead from start to finish. So what we want to see is, so look at that, Antonelli in P4. George Russell losing 3 places. Alonso up 2 places. Sainz up to P5. It's that this is good news for all of those, but it's great news for Alonso, great news for Sainz. And if Alonso can, fight off that quicker Mercedes P7, then this is the dream start for Alonso. Antonelli though, up a place to P4. Can he put the challenge on Norris? That's what we want. We want to see some excitement. We want to see Norris under pressure. Is there a situation where Norris may not finish this Grand Prix? Yes, all in. Great start. Textbook from Piastri. Held his nerve. Great start. Yeah, Mark says not going to predict anything or anyone. Going to watch and see what happens. Exactly. I mean, he's pulling out a gap already, Piastri. 1.7 seconds. In 3 laps. He's got that clean air, Piastri. So yeah, Max is not close enough. Oh, my feed's ahead of yours, is it? Yeah, you got to match it up. You got to match it up, Chef. It's funny, our data is often quicker as well. So let's just a quick double check of any incidents. Nope. No incidents. Clean start from everybody. Oh, Legend says, yeah, like 20 seconds ahead. I can't delay it, I don't think. Faster than Max. I think I get the data faster than it comes on Sky F1. We've got the Max Verstappen of data streams. There you go, Mark. Yeah, there's loads going on. This is what we want. So I'm rewatching the start now. Piastri pulls away nicely. Verstappen gets a great start, wheel to wheel with Norris. And to be honest, by turn 1, he's made the move stick. But it's Alonso's move. I want to see what happened to George Russell here. George Russell starting P4. What happened? So you've got Kimi Antonelli, George Russell, Alonso coming on the outside. Couldn't quite see what happened to George Russell, how he managed to lose 3 places in the first 3 laps. Hamilton, though, putting the move on Lawson. Sparks coming out the back of that Ferrari. I wonder if they're running at I wonder if they've tried to alter that ride height. Ooh. Pierre Gasly. Fair play. Holding his P9. Which, don't forget, is in the Alpine, which is quite remarkable. So, did you see Carlos Sainz Senior is in Qatar? Still looks good. Still looks well. It wasn't that long ago he won the Dakar with Audi. Obviously, Carlos Sainz Sr., rallying legend. Carlos Sainz's dad. Should be the FIA president, if you ask me. I thought he was throwing his hat in the ring, but I actually thought he'd be a great choice. So, Piastri still pulling out a gap now of 2.2 seconds. Looks safe. Like, if Piastri can just hold his rhythm together. And the one thing we know about Piastri is that he is incredibly consistent with his lap time. Sometimes he's not quite got the lap right, we've seen in low downforce circuits, but his consistency is always there. Black and white flag for Gasly for rejoining unsafely. Yeah, black and white flag is like, meh. It's basically just a telling off. There's no punishment. But Gasly had a little telling off how he rejoined the track. He couldn't rejoin any other way. Black and white flag telling off. Gemma Harvey, that video you posted from Lewis after the press day was funny. Oh, absolute gold. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't get many views, that one, to be honest. No rhyme or reason. YouTube has a funny way of working out the algorithm. Sometimes you get hundreds of views and sometimes you get thousands of views. It's the joy of YouTube, Gemma. You just never know which one is going to pop. Yeah, Mark, I agree. I don't look. Leclerc's down in P11. Hamilton's in P14 on the softs. Oh, no, Leclerc. No. Hulkenberg's had an off. Yellow card. I mean, sorry, yellow flag. What happened? Oh, Gasly's having some sort of failure suspension. So, safety car's out. Great time to jump in the pits if you're Gasly and your car is scraping along the floor. What has gone on there? Oh, you're talking about Leclerc. Gemma's saying Leclerc's going to be going to Aston Martin at some point. Maybe 2027. There has been an approach from Aston Martin to Leclerc's management. Nicholas Todd. So everyone should be coming in for fresh rubber here. Behind the safety car. Yeah, they are. Verstappen's in. Two equal stints of 25 laps. That's good. Get the pit stop out of the way. They do have to have two. There's two mandatory pit stops. Hey Mark, are you talking about the fact that Honda are saying that they that if you keep Yuki, we'll keep supplying engines for your TPC program? Literally trying to blackmail Red Bull into keeping Yuki in the Racing Bull seat. Or is there new news which I've missed? because if it's the news that Yuki that Honda are basically trying to bully Red Bull into keeping Yuki as a deal to continue to maintain the engines for the TPC program, well then, I just saw the incident. Then yeah, video incoming. Video incoming. Oh, yeah. Hulkenberg trying to put a move on Gasly, a move on the outside. Contact. Hulkenberg out. Safety car. Gasly, hopefully his car can be repaired. It didn't touch. Why have McLaren not pitted their drivers? Oh, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. It's a mistake. They've got 225 stints left. Oh, so Ted Kravitz said that. I mean, well, that's what the. I mean, that's what we were told ages ago, that it's that Lawson has got the drive, but the new thing that came out today on Yuki is that apparently Honda are throwing this Hail Mary to try and keep Yuki in a Red Bull seat or Racing Bull seat by saying to Red Bull, hey, your TPC program, you're driving the older cars which have Honda engines in. Well, we'll continue to maintain those engines and allow you to do that if you keep Yuki in a drive, which I think's outrageous. But it's quite an interesting story. But that's what's that's the new part. But I don't think they've announced Lawson yet. They're not going to announce until after Abu Dhabi. But before that announcement, yeah, Honda are trying everything they can. I can't believe the McLarens did not pit. Yeah, Legend. It's not, I don't like political. I hate it when politics comes into sport, don't you? I don't. Just the best drivers fighting it out. Like when it's all becomes about money and geography, it's just please. Just want to see the best racers racing. I don't like it when powerful people with the power try and influence decisions. I don't like it. I've never liked it. And I think people at Red Bull should push back if that's the case. Because Honda will just, if Honda won't maintain the engines in the cars for the TPC program, so the Arvid Lindblad and young drivers can get the experience in Formula One cars, and so be it. I'd be annoyed that somebody, thinks they can influence a decision. I hate it. Hate it. I don't know how you feel about it. So, safety car still out, lap 10. Piastri still in P1, but the field is now obviously bunched up again. Do you remember this situation though? Was it Silverstone? So Piastri needs to be careful. He does not get a penalty on this restart. He needs to keep it real, keep it safe. No, don't brake too hard. As we know, there are penalties potentially. They do, and it's going to be Hadjar. Although Mark, I don't think Hadjar's going to be quite happy to sort of not go for his own, go for gold himself. Here we go. Safety car ending. They are racing again. Piastri away nicely. No problems there. Lando Norris, track position over Verstappen now. P2. Max has pitted though, remember. Max has pitted. Neither McLaren has come in to the pits. Hey, Kyle. Nice to have you in the chat, my friend. I know. Why didn't McLaren pit? It's crazy. No idea, Kyle. No freaking idea. That was a stupid decision. Yeah, stupid decision. They basically lost themselves, what, 22 to 25 seconds? 26 seconds? It's ridiculous. Yeah, Kyle, go Max. Well, he's lost track position to Norris, but he's, in theory, he's got one of his pit stops out of the way, hasn't he? So for Max, he's actually in a far better position. I mean, anything can happen now. Max has got one of his pit stops out of the way. He didn't have to do one more pit stop. 25 laps time. Onto the medium. Run to the end. Norris and Piastri have still got to do 2 pit stops. No, Verstappen only to do what? It's crazy. Exactly, Kyle. In theory, he's 25 seconds ahead. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know who made that decision. Stella, Zach Brown, what were you thinking? It's amateur hour. Amateur hour. Such a crazy mistake. And Carlos, yeah, you're right, Lightning. Look at that. Carlos Sainz up to P4 now. 1.2 seconds behind Verstappen. Incredible for Williams to be up there fighting near the front. You know, his dad's watching. Maybe that's a little bit of extra boost. Carlos Sainz Sr. is there in Qatar, and he is a freaking legend in the rally world, isn't he? And he won Dakar for Audi. Incredible. Carlos Sainz Sr. he still races, I think. Sainz possibly a net P2. That's true, Chef, because he has already pitted. So you're right. He is close enough to possibly fight for the podium. You're absolutely right, Chef. Absolutely right. Brucey, welcome to the chat, my friend. Brucey Plays, get in there, Oscar. Well, Oscar might have track position, but it was a stupid decision from McLaren to not pit him. Why didn't they pit him? He has to do 2 pit stops now. I mean, Norris is the same, so you can't say there's anything sort of... If they pitted Norris and not Piastri, then the conspiracy theories would go crazy. But the fact that McLaren kept both of their drivers out on track and didn't pit them behind that safety car, when they have a mandatory 2 pit stop, 25 lap maximum on the tyres, was stupid. Yeah, Brucey. What are McLaren doing, man? They're giving me a heart attack, mate. Exactly. They will be. It's just an insane decision. But Max, Max could win this race. And if Sainz, Antonelli, Alonso all stay within 25 seconds of Piastri and Norris, they could find themselves away. Norris could be way back down the grid. Makes it exciting. Oh yeah, we're getting spammed. Thanks, Gemma. I noticed it. Thank you. Brucey. Andrew, safety car is very convenient for Max. True. Well, it is convenient for Max, but they all had the same opportunity to get one of the pit stops out of the way. And every other driver, and I mean every other team, brought their cars in, which was the right thing to do to get that pit stop done. There were perfectly 50 laps left. Perfect 25 laps, 25 laps. And when there's a 25 lap maximum on the tyre, that is what you want. You've literally given yourself the best option. That's right, Mark. All right, Kyle. See you later, buddy. Enjoy the race, mate. Yeah, McLaren. Crazy decisions. Mark, yeah, am I correct? There's still a 25 lap ruling on the tyre life. Exactly. That's why that pit stop, when there was 50 laps to go, was perfect. Get your first pit stop out the way. Do 25 laps on your tyre. Get your second pit stop out the way. 25 laps on the tyre. Those mediums will do, will do 25 laps all day. Brucey says, I think Max will eat Norris's dinner, but Piastri needs to build the gap and sneak in a pit stop. Well, if he does, if he manages to get a 25-second gap, I'm here for it. He's pulled out 2 seconds. Piastri, I think, just needs to keep his head on, focus on what he's doing, pull out a gap between him and Norris, which he is doing. And Verstappen, stay on the gearbox of Norris. I mean, George Russell's down in P8. Hadjar's passed him. Alonso's passed him. So Sainz up to P4. I mean, he's taken that place off Antonelli. I would have liked to have seen that. I don't think there's a problem with his car, unless I've missed it on the footage. I don't think there's a problem with Russell's car. I just think he's had a bit of a mare. He just had a bit of a tough start. Yeah, Bruce is right about that, though. That Ferrari's a dog of a car. It's horrendous. That Ferrari looks like it wants to kill you. Even Gasly was following it in the sprint racing, and man, that car. I'll tell you what's wrong with the Ferrari. It's got massive oversteer at the entry of a corner, completely unstable in the middle of the corner, and then massive oversteer on the exit of the corner. It's twitchy and snappy as hell, and that's why Leclerc had that spin yesterday. That Ferrari just looks like it wants to kill you. Yeah, Mark, McLaren have made a big mistake here. I don't know how they're going to make this work for them. Are they doing it? I don't know. I mean, just how big a mistake that is from McLaren, we will see before the end of this race. If there's another safety car, they'll get a cheaper pit stop, obviously. But still. Every car has pitted. Every car apart from Piastri and Norris. Unbelievable. Someone needs to be sacked for that decision. I mean, it's basic. It's rookie. It's so basic. Honestly, I could have been team principal today and I would have made that decision. Come on, Pit. From all of my experience on F1, Formula 1 games, like, just pit. It's crazy. Crazy decision. But Piastri, though, is pulling out a gap, 2.6 seconds. Leclerc, P9. He is on the gearbox of Russell, but that Ferrari just looks such a difficult car to drive. So Norris has pulled out a big gap over Verstappen. I wonder if Verstappen's got an issue. So, don't forget, we've got a 25 lap limit on the tyre. That means Piastri and Norris will have to pit within the next 8 laps. I mean, the thing is, when McLaren's, because they're the only guys who need to pit in the next 8 laps, mandatory 25 lap limit on the tyres, they will have to pit in 8 laps time when everybody else will be able to pit in 10 laps time. So they're going to come out in a shitload of traffic. Then this is a disaster for McLaren. So the only thing they could really hope for is another safety car that might help the McLarens. But there's no guarantee that's going to happen. Because now, as we know on this track, is we end up in these, I don't know, DRS trains, very difficult to overtake. I mean, it's a nice new circuit, but overtaking is very difficult. Mark says, I reckon the FIA have been on the phone to Zach. Zach, keep him out there. Don't pit. Zach's taking a bribe. No, I'm joking. Don't click that up. I'm only joking. We don't know that. That's unsubstantiated. Unsubstantiated rumours. I mean, the only other thing that McLaren could do to try and increase their pace, they could go on to the soft tyre or go on the medium tyre, go 25 laps and have a very short burst on the softs. I mean, they do need to do 2 pit stops. Everyone else has to do 1. So it is going to be... I don't know how they're going to make this work for McLaren now. Everyone else will come in. I mean, soft, medium, medium, I thought was going to be the optimum tyre choice. Soft, medium, medium. Chef said Williams didn't think their car was well suited to this track, but science is proving otherwise, as he's holding strong in P4 right now. Exactly. This is what I said. This track, this circuit, a lot of this, it's won and lost in the first few laps, really, and in qualifying, right? But science, this is a remarkable performance because, excuse me, failing any sort of errors in the pit stop. Yeah, Sainz is looking good. Holding a 2-second gap over Antonelli. Exactly, Mark. Yeah, another safety car. I think that's what it's going to be. Another safety car is the only way I can see McLaren affecting their race. So I expect Piastri will be pit stopping lap 24. And will they do a short run on the softs, or would the softs be wasted by coming out in the middle of the pack? I mean, or do a long run on the mediums and go on and a short run on the softs at the end? I mean, if they do happen to be on the soft while everyone else on the hard, they will be quick. Well, I know. But it's that 25-second, real world loss for a pit stop. It's like 25 seconds. Zach Brown, if he made that decision, then that is a bad, terrible decision. Terrible. Keep the boys, keep them out, let them race. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. If you don't know what you're doing, you should have just said, what's Max doing? We'll just copy him. Piastri pulling out a nice gap, though. 3.6 seconds now over Norris. He's in the clean air. Like, Piastri, you know, can he pull out a 25-second gap to everyone else, to Verstappen or to Ant? If he can pull out a 25-second gap, well, he can't do it now, actually. He's going to be pitting in 4 laps. Yeah. So they're on lap 22. Piastri's complaining that his front left is lost his front left. Mark says, hopefully they don't throw it away in the pit stops. Been done before. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. They put a load of pressure now on the pit crew. It's true. They could have the fastest pit stops in the world, but losing that time. Everyone else got a free pit stop. You know, they all effectively gained 25 seconds on the McLaren cars. It's absolutely insane decision. They've literally handicapped themselves by 25 seconds. And they're the only cars on the grid who have taken that handicap. It's just like someone should be sacked for that decision. It's that bad. Sack them all. Yeah, that championship constructors team, sack them all for that decision. But it is a bad decision. So I just want to see the pit stops are coming up. We want to see how quickly they can turn this around. But it's not really just about that. It's where will Piastri and Norris rejoin the circuit? What will their track position be when they come out? Trying to work it out here. Science is 16 seconds. Can they? They could. It's going to be close. They're going to be coming out around Antonelli. Oh, back round Alonso, I should say. Antonelli, Alonso, in between Antonelli and Alonso. Let's see. If they can come out, I mean, if they don't come out in front of Alonso, then they could end up coming out behind Russell and be in front of Leclerc. It could be horrendous, this could be awful. I wonder if Piastri and Norris are both going to go onto the hard tyre, or whether there'll be a difference in strategy for both cars. So, lap 24. I actually think, yeah, I'm just listening to the commentary and I actually agree. I think that they're not going to do it. I think they're going to put the McLarens down on put them out on the hards for a longer run. I would give Piastri the soft tyre to try and get that pace advantage, to put some overtakes in. Because they do have to do another pit stop. A short stint on the softs and try and get some overtakes done. And then come in when everyone else comes in and do a longer stint on. Yeah. That's what I would do. I'd go to the softs. Short stint on the softs and try and make some overtakes through that midfield. Piastri's coming in now. Lap 24. Will he come out in front of Alonso? I mean, he should do. Looking at the delta, 27 seconds behind. It's whether Norris will come out before Alonso. He could end up behind Hadjar, which would be disastrous for Norris. Disastrous. Let's see. Piastri's in the pits. We're looking for a quick pit stop here. It's got to be in 2 seconds. Let's go. Okay, let's see the time. 3.1, not the fastest. Not the fastest from McLaren. Is he going to get out in front? It's a slow stop. Piastri does make it out in front of Alonso. Norris is going to struggle here, though. Norris's pit stop. Is he going to get out in front of Alonso? I do not think so. I don't think he is. I mean, that was a slow stop from McLaren. 3 seconds is too slow at this level. You know, it's a second too slow, actually. So Chef said, I think McLaren didn't want to double stack and risk having any of their drivers lose track position, especially if they had a low, slow stop. They would have to wait for the whole field to drive past. Yeah, they did the right thing by keeping a lap between them. But the stop at 3.2 seconds is definitely too slow. They're a second too slow. But Norris can't make up. He's coming in now. Let's see if his stop is any quicker. Oh, it's going to be close. Is he going to get out in front of Alonso? I don't think I think this is going to be tight. Very tight. How quick's this stop going to be? It looks more... Oh, that's way quicker. 2.2. A second quicker than Piastri. Why is that? They prefer Norris. McLaren prefer Norris. They gave him a quicker pit stop by a second. Piastri has passed Norris. Oh, it's going to be close, though, this. Alonso, he is. He's going to be... Oh! Alonso is attacking Norris. Wow. No, Alonso has got... He's done it. I think Alonso's going to... I think Lando's going to hold his position. But wow, that was close. If they'd given Norris the same length pit stop that it took Piastri at 3.2, they would have lost it. I know. I mean, I can't believe that Norris got a quicker pit stop. I mean, that 1 second has made a massive difference. Piastri getting shafted. So Verstappen looking good for this. Sainz P2. So they brought them out on their mediums. So that means they're going for a long stint, 25 laps. But don't forget, they will have to stop again. When everybody else pits, they will be going for a stint to the end of the race without having to pit again. So around lap 32, everyone else will be pitting because they will have done 25 laps. Oh, there you go. They've heard me in Sky. I've just basically repeated what I've just said. But yeah. So let me just take you around the screen. If you've joined us here at F1 Grandstand, you've obviously got all of the data you could possibly wish for on the right-hand side of your screen. All the drivers, their positions, what tyres they're on, how many pits, how many laps they've done on those tyres. You've got their fastest laps, their latest laps, and you've got sector 1, 2, and 3 deltas. When you see their purple, that tells you that obviously that's the driver with the fastest time of that sector. Obviously, just below me, you got the track to see which cars are out on track. So Piastri, so what will happen is, so Piastri and Norris will go to like 49 maximum when they're looking for a long stint on these mediums. Yeah, it's still showing to be a huge mistake for McLaren not pitting when everyone else pitted. It's a silly thing, silly decision. It's going to cost Piastri a win, that's for sure. What it cost Norris, obviously a win, but I think Piastri was more likely of the two drivers to be getting 25 points today. And Oscar Piastri just gouging time out of the gap between him and Antonelli. Over halfway in this Grand Prix. Will there be more safety cars? Will there be more drama? Quite possibly. Safety cars, I don't know, because now it all seems as though, I hate to say it, but it's one of those Grand Prix that there might not be many incidents. They've got the mandatory 25 lap maximum on the tyre. I mean, everyone's going to do one more stop and that's it. Very difficult to overtake, as you can see. George Russell still not been able to find any pace in that Mercedes, or not enough pace to find room or a gap to overtake. Alonso still holding his P6. Antonelli and Sainz and Verstappen all will need to pit in 2 laps' time. But that will be their last pit stop. Piastri made light work of Antonelli. Obviously, Piastri on the fresh rubber now. He is just gouging time, hunting down Carlos Sainz now. But Carlos Sainz is going to be pitting in 2 laps' time. Simple as that. Piastri on a charge. I mean, we don't know. I mean, Norris could get tied up. Oscar is on the hunt, Brucey. Absolutely. Oscar is on the hunt. Oscar's looked great all weekend. So, Charles Leclerc grassing up George Russell. He's following George Russell and saying Russell is out of track limits every time on turn 10. I mean, he's obviously, Charles Leclerc is getting very frustrated in that Ferrari. And now he is basically pointing the finger at George Russell saying he's exceeding track limits. Turn 10, every lap. Why has nothing been done about it? Telling his race engineer to get on it. Make a complaint. Maybe we're not seeing any of the coverage. So we don't know. We're not seeing any coverage of the Russell and Leclerc's battle. 2 seconds between them. Ollie Behrman up 3 places to P10. Let's just run down the biggest movers. We know how hard it is to overtake. So, biggest mover of all, Carlos Sainz up to P2. 5 places. He has improved. Excellent. We've got Alonso up 2 places. Behrman's up 3 places. Tsunoda up 3 places. Hamilton up 3 places. Bortoleto up 4 places. Colapinto up 4 places. Sainz up 5. I know. Sainz up 5. He's the biggest mover. And do you know what? I had Carlos Sainz last Grand Prix as my predicted driver of the weekend. He's doing exceptionally well. Carlos Sainz, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Lance Stroll. Oh, Norris nearly lost his front wing behind Antonelli. trying to get past him. Antonelli doing everyone a favour here doing Max a favour. Fighting Norris. Yeah, it looks like Stroll could be the dipstick of the day. This is going to be carnage here. Everybody pitting at the same time. Lap 32. This is it. I mean, everyone pitting at the same time. And all of those pit boxes, which are next to each other, there could be problems. Shenanigans. Okay, Verstappen in the pit. No one around him. Let's see where he comes. That's a great pit stop by Red Bull, I think. 2.5 seconds. It's good enough. Sainz is coming in. Clean. We need a good pit stop for Sainz, please. So Piastri's now taking track position up to P1. Norris up to P2. I couldn't see that. Did Russell and the Racing Bulls, did they collide? Told you that traffic jam in the pit stop looks crazy. Wow, such a busy pit stop. Everybody in apart from the McLarens. It was, yeah, carnage. So Max Verstappen on the hards now to the end of the Grand Prix. 3.5 seconds behind Norris. So obviously, because of the McLaren mess up, Verstappen looks like he's got this. All he has to do is stay within 25 seconds of Norris and Piastri to win this Grand Prix. That's it. Sainz is vulnerable to Piastri and Norris at the moment. So Piastri and Norris would need to pull away 19. Piastri, if he pulls away 19 seconds in the next, if they go to the end of their stint on this medium tyre, they need to pull out 19 seconds and get out of the pits in front of Verstappen. That's a tall order because Verstappen is on the hard tyre, but it's fresh rubber. Piastri's got the best chance of doing it. Norris, I'm unsure. Because Piastri's pulled out 4.7 seconds already over Norris. Can he pull out another 20 seconds over Verstappen? So going to the end, you've got Verstappen, Sainz, Antonelli, Alonso, Hadjar, Russell, Leclerc. Basically, P3 to P9, all on the hard tyre, all able to go to the end of this Grand Prix. I don't know if Norris has got some sort of issue. It's, yeah, I'm unsure if Norris has got some sort of issue. He's losing time over Piastri. Yeah, Gasly, excuse me, Gasly had contact, didn't he, with Hulkenberg. It's a shame. Yeah, Gasly and Hulkenberg had an incident. It's a shame because Gasly, P9 qualifying position, and he was looking good until that point. Hulkenberg was P10, wasn't he? And he was putting a move on him. And Gasly's car ended up just hitting the deck like it was some sort of issue. Yeah, there is a problem with Norris's car. Norris has damaged the underside of his car. And with these curbs, if you do damage the underside or the floor, it is going to affect your ground effect in an incredible way. Norris dropping time to Piastri. He's down to 6.3 seconds behind. Verstappen, 2.2 seconds behind Norris. Just how bad this problem is for Norris is yet to be seen, but he's definitely affecting his car. Or he believes it is. Just looking at Lando's off here. Turn 13. I just seen what Lando was talking about, saying he's damaged his car. I don't think so. Turn 13, it wasn't an off. He just rode the curb a little harder. I don't think that should have damaged the car to a point where he's going to be noticing much performance. But then again, he is coming up to 6.7 seconds behind Piastri. And Verstappen is taking a couple of tenths a lap out of Norris, and Verstappen is on the hard tyre. Yeah, I think Norris does believe there's something wrong with that car. Didn't look like a terrible off. So Piastri's got 9 seconds. He's 9 seconds ahead of Verstappen. He needs to find another 16 seconds. If he can pull out a gap of 16 seconds before he needs to pit again, then he will win this Grand Prix. Yeah, see, everyone on the hard tyre, those hard tyres actually, as the track is evolving and more rubber is being laid down, the advantage of the softer compounds compared to the hards diminishes. But McLaren do need to stop again. Now, do they stop for the softs on a short stint at the end? I would say yeah. I would say that's the move. Extend the run as far as you can. You're on the mediums instead while everyone else is on the hards. Pull out the biggest gap you can, and then come out on the softs and attack. I think that's McLaren's option. And if Piastri can pull out a gap, which he is doing, he's pulled out a gap of 9.2 seconds. It's Norris and Verstappen who are going to be battling it out in the next few laps. Verstappen taking time out of the gap between him and Norris every single lap. At least a couple of tenths a lap. Really, Norris is really racing Sainz and Antonelli. Now, if Sainz can take out a couple of seconds, he needs to find 2 or 3 seconds. And that would mean when Norris pits and rejoins the race circuit, he would rejoin behind Carlos Sainz. Can Sainz find that pace? He'll be well aware of what he needs to do. If there is a problem with Norris's car, this is his best chance to do it. And it could be podium for Sainz. He's racing for a podium in that Williams. So Piastri saying, no, let's go for the early pit stop. And let's race to the end. Rather than do a splash and dash on the soft tyres. I mean, Verstappen is all over the gearbox of Lando Norris. Just 1 second. I think Piastri's insisting. I'd gamble. If I was coming in now, 15 laps, I'd gamble on the softs. I'd take the pace. I'd gamble on the softs. Because everybody's on the hards. I mean, you've got 15 laps. In theory, Piastri could put the softs on. So they've gone hards. Piastri's gone for a brand new set of hards. Wow, Piastri pulled the finger out on that stop. 1.8 seconds. After their 3.3 seconds, they owed him that. Yeah, Chef said, yes, Oscar is going to give up an old school closing stint dash for the lead using soft tyres. No, yeah, I would have gone for the softs. I would have gone for the softs there. But they brought him out on a brand new set of hards. I think the softs, you could have done 15 laps on the softs and took that performance advantage. I think. I think you could have done 15 laps on the softs. I do. But he is out in front of Sainz. That's the most important thing. Everyone else is on the hard. So now it's straight racing, isn't it? Fresh rubber. Let's go. I mean, Verstappen's just... He's got this race sewn up, obviously. Yeah, Brucey says I would have gone the softs too. Yeah, I would have gone the softs. I would have then at least tried to take out a second a lap out of Verstappen, right? That's what I would have gone for. I would have gone for it. Norris may go for the softs. Yeah, Brucey says Verstappen's like me doing gym reruns in Pokemon. Yeah, I would have gambled on the softs. Alonso's running P8. Pit stops. Alonso got done in the pits. When everyone came into pit, I think he basically got done in the pits, I think. We didn't get to see it on the coverage, obviously, because the race director, who's shown us the pictures... Yeah, Chef says if Norris goes on soft, that's pretty messed up by McLaren. If Norris goes on the soft, then starts attacking it like half a second a lap quicker than Piastri. I don't know. There seems to be something wrong with Norris's car. He is losing time. .7 second stop for Norris. So this is the gap. Sainz has passed Lando. And Antonelli's passed Norris. That's it. Norris out on the hards. So now Norris needs to pass Antonelli and needs to pass Sainz. He's got 12 laps in order to race. Verstappen, 15 and a half seconds out of Piastri. Verstappen's race to lose here. Like, really, Verstappen should easily make it to the end of the Grand Prix. Now it's what Norris can do from P5. Oh, Alonso's had a spin. He recovered it well. Wow. Russell and Hadjar battling it out for 6th and 7th. So we've got so Behrman served his 10-second stop and go penalty. Russell, black and white flag for Carl Russell, track limits. I mean, Carlos Sainz could be on for a podium here. He doesn't have to make it easy, and neither does Antonelli. They do not have to make it easy for Norris. Norris, if he wants to get those places, he is going to have to win those places. And this track is difficult to overtake. Ooh, Lando Norris nearly lost it, turn 7. See, Norris is 3.2 seconds behind Antonelli. And then he's got to catch him in the next 10 laps and pass him. Same with Antonelli and Sainz. I mean, he's nearly 10 seconds back from Sainz. Yeah, I can't see Norris catching Sainz. I can't. Do you know what? You know, Norris will probably end up on the gearbox of Antonelli, but will he pass him, man? I know it's not nailed on. Yeah, Carlos Sainz, he just needs to hold on for 10 laps. I think he's got 3-second gap between him, 2.5-second gap between him and Antonelli. So Piastri is cutting into the gap between him and Verstappen, but he's going to need to be, I mean, it's 10 laps. He's going to need to be 1.5 a second quicker than Verstappen each lap, and that's a lot to ask. I mean, Max is going to look good. Look, Max looks good for the win. Yeah, only true drama. It is. There is drama. It looks good for Max's win. I think really the battle is Norris going to be able to put a move on Antonelli and pass Antonelli before the end of this Grand Prix? Norris is 2 seconds behind Antonelli. But if Norris finishes P5, I mean, if it finishes like this, Verstappen will only be 10 points behind Lando Norris going into Abu Dhabi. Right? I mean, that makes it exciting for the final race of the season. I'm not sure Norris is going to get past Antonelli here. Antonelli's got every right to fight to hold his P4 here. Piastri is taking a second a lap out of Verstappen, but it needs to be more. It needs to be more. 9 laps left, 13 seconds. It needs to be more than 1 second a lap. It needs to be 1.4, 1.5 seconds a lap. But Piastri is pushing like hell. It is getting exciting. Only True's got it right with the word drama. I mean, we've seen Norris struggle a couple of times. The car has snapped a couple of times. It isn't over this. It isn't over. He's pushing as hard as he can. He's now 1.1 second behind Antonelli. So he's going to be on the gearbox. Next lap, he is going to be all over the gearbox. The McLaren doesn't deal as well with dirty air. That's true, Chef. Absolutely true. And Antonelli's not the easiest person to get past. He can make that car big. McLaren make mistake. They didn't pit like others. Max will win and drama going to Abu Dhabi. Like I said, reset car era. Yeah, I agree. Listen, it's good for the neutral. Like, I want there to be some excitement in Abu Dhabi, right? Like, I want to feel that it's not all wrapped up in a bow for any driver. Yeah, you want to feel the excitement in the final race of the season. Norris, he is all over the gearbox now of Antonelli. Antonelli's going to have to do something quite remarkable to keep the faster McLaren behind him. We've seen Antonelli do it, though, haven't we? We've seen Antonelli hold position, fight off challenges from Norris or Verstappen, Russell. But it was a big mistake by McLaren. There's no doubt about it. It's cost their Zach Brown, Andrea Stella, whoever made that decision, has cost their drivers dearly by not pitting them behind that safety car on lap 7. Unbelievable decision. Again, just stupid. What were they thinking? Norris now has a job to do. 8 laps left. I think Sainz has a podium locked. I think Sainz has got a podium locked. There's no way Norris is getting anywhere close to Sainz. Antonelli 3 seconds behind him. I think Antonelli will be quite happy just to hold pace. He's got a lot on his plate right now. He has to deal with the attack of Lando Norris, who is 6/10 behind him. He has DRS now, Lando. Antonelli hopefully has saved some battery for the defend against Norris here. 6 laps for Norris to get past Antonelli. It is getting exciting now. Kimi Antonelli, though, putting that Mercedes in the right place, making it tricky. Oh, says Carlos Sainz does have tyre wear issue. He does have understeer on the right-handers. This could slow him down. This could play into Norris's hands now. Can Carlos Sainz just get that Williams round the track for 6 more laps and hold it? I'm rooting for Carlos Sainz. I'd love him to get a podium in that Williams. But Norris on the gearbox of Antonelli. Antonelli is hunting down Carlos Sainz, 2.5 seconds behind. Is it a tyre wear issue for Sainz, or is it something else? Is it something mechanical? Is it suspension? We don't know. I'd suggest it could be graining on the front. Norris unable to make a move. He's not able to get close enough to Antonelli to put a move on him. This is going to be tight. Sainz is saying there's potential damage to the floor, causing his loss in performance through the right-handers. He's losing 3 or 4 tenths a lap here, but there are only 5 laps left. Can he hold on for that podium? Good work, Kimi Legend. Couldn't agree more. Kimi doing a great job. Antonelli's tyres are 19 laps old, and Norris's are 7 laps old. So Norris on the fresher rubber. I know, Brucey. Can't believe McLaren have done this. I know, it's absolutely ridiculous. A ridiculous decision. But Antonelli is hunting down Carlos Sainz. A gap under 2 seconds now. Can Carlos Sainz, with his damaged floor, get that Williams round for another 4 laps and hold on to the podium? I don't know. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Sainz, Antonelli and Norris. It is Norris down to 7 tenths between him and Antonelli. Antonelli bringing the gap down to 1.8 seconds behind Sainz. And there are 4 laps left. Brucey says, I want Antonelli to get P3. I'd quite happily have Sainz on a P3. I think he deserves it. Sainz in that Williams. I do like to see the Williams doing well. I think JV's done a great job. Mr. Bowles taking that team from a P9 team to a competitive midfield team. And also, you know, the Williams of the 90s. Frank Williams, Red 5, Nigel Mansell. Come on. The Adrian Newey design cars. We love it. Patrick Head. Frank Williams. So it looks all great for Verstappen. There's no way Piastri's going to take 11 seconds out of him in the next 3 laps. It's now all about these 3. It's all about Sainz in P3, Antonelli P4, Norris P5. These guys are going to be together for the last few laps. Antonelli is just reeling in Carlos Sainz down to 1.1 seconds now. A problem with the Williams, with the floor, is meaning that Carlos Sainz is struggling through the right-handers. But a podium's close for Kimi. I mean, Brucey says, can Adrian Newey see air or something? See air? I don't understand. Oh, yeah, he can. Adrian Newey, sorry, what they said about air, I know what you're talking about now. Well, apparently Adrian Newey is able to look at a car and imagine the airflow just as successfully as a wind tunnel. Silverstone 2022 finish. 3 laps now. They're on lap 55. Sainz holding off Antonelli. He's doing, if that floor is in a bad state, Carlos Sainz is driving well. He's holding Antonelli off out of the DRS zone. But Norris all over the gearbox of Antonelli. So Antonelli is going to be under pressure. But can Antonelli find some pace to put Sainz under pressure? It really is, Gemma. Gemma's saying the business end of the Grand Prix. It really is. Kevin Hart will be waving your checkered flag today. Kevin Hart, a huge follower of F1 Grandstand. Never misses an episode. Hey, Kev, I know you're watching. Enjoy waving that flag. Isaac Hadjar. Oh, Isaac Hadjar drop. Wow, he's got a puncher. limping round. Hadjar's going to drop down to the back of the grid here. Back of the field for Hadjar. Lawson up to P9. He'll be happy with a couple of points. Sonoda up to P10. Looking to grab himself a point. Oh, 2 laps left. I don't know. Can Norris put a move on Antonelli in the last 2 laps? I think Carlos Sainz is safe for his podium. He is. Yeah, Piastri is going to take P2. Norris stuck down in P5 by the looks of this. Norris looks like he's pushing hard, but he is not going to find a gap here. Antonelli just 1 second behind Sainz. I do not think he's going to get close enough in the last lap to put a move on him. I don't even think Norris is going to be able... Oh! Antonelli's made a mistake! Antonelli made a mistake! Wow! With 1 lap, on the final lap, Antonelli goes wide, allows Norris through. Wow. It makes a big difference to the fight in Abu Dhabi. Norris taking that place off Antonelli. Antonelli gifting Norris. So on Verstappen's radio, it said it looked like Antonelli pulled over and let Norris through. So Max Verstappen is your race winner. Oscar Piastri robbed by his own team. I think we're quite clear about that. Oscar Piastri robbed his own team. Robbed by his own team. That was his win. But Carlos Sainz, congratulations on your P3. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant drive. To get that Williams onto the podium, just fantastic. I think Brucey said Sainz holding on to P3 like I hold on to my nan. So Chef says Sainz holding on to P3 issues. Nursing issues in a Williams, yeah. You're right. Williams have made strides. I mean, I can't wait till Williams can bring in 26. So Oscar has to win the next races. He does, and there needs to be the next race. The last race is Abu Dhabi. So what does that mean? I think for Oscar to win now the championship, it'd have to be a weird turn of events. I think Max will be 16 points. It's still on for Max and Abu Dhabi, but he's gonna need a bit of luck. Yeah, Piastri not happy. Brilliant result for Carlos Sainz. I mean, Kimi Antonelli, what was he thinking? Ah, Chef said McLaren pulling a Ferrari. It's so rookie. I mean, what were they thinking? Truthfully, what were they thinking? Brucey said McLaren saw Ferrari strategist and said, "I like that. I'll have some of that." It's just, it is just crazy. How's Verstappen got driver of the day? So they voted Verstappen for driver of the day. How can you not give driver of the day to Carlos Sainz? Sky, come on. Surely Carlos Sainz should get exactly Brucey. Surely Carlos Sainz should have got driver of the day. And he's definitely getting my driver of the weekend, F1 Grandstand. We have our driver of the weekend in our roundup show. And I tell you, spoiler alert, Carlos Sainz is definitely winning driver of the weekend. Holding off, broken floor. He's done. He's definitely the one. But congratulations. Exactly, Brucey. Antonelli would have been up there as well. If he'd have managed to hold off Lando Norris, then Antonelli definitely in for a shout for driver of the day. But he must be. But that mistake on the last lap to allow Norris through. Gemma says not all heroes. Yeah, I know. No, but it's a great result for Sainz. While his dad's there as well. It's Oscar Piastri looks pissed. He looks miserable. I don't blame him because it's not his fault. He's done everything right. Piastri has been flawless this weekend. Fastest driver every session. Winning the sprint. Qualifying pole in the sprint and the Grand Prix. He would have won the Grand Prix comfortably if McLaren hadn't made that stupid decision on lap 7 when everybody else pitted. Everybody else pitted. What were they thinking? Yeah, the drama continues. So 16 laps will be the gap going in to Abu Dhabi between him and Norris. 16 points. You're right, Brucey. McLaren might never get the chance again. Next year, who knows how the cars will behave. They should have locked this win in a bag already. Yeah, it's true. At least, listen, McLaren, at least have made it interesting. They've given us something to talk about for Abu Dhabi next weekend. There's a little bit of excitement, a little bit of jeopardy. Can Lando pull it out of the bag? Can Max do it? The greatest comeback in Formula One history. Definitely one of them. Could be the greatest Formula One comeback in history. So at least they've made it exciting for us, right? We will make it exciting next weekend for Abu Dhabi. We will be obviously doing watch-alongs for the entire weekend, practice, qualifying, and the race. We will follow all the action together. But yeah, Brucey says Lando cracked under pressure, so now McLaren's are cracking eggs over Oscar's head. Well, Lando, I think when you lead in the championship, it's a slightly different mentality. You just want to, but if you're not going for it, you can end up in this situation. Abu Dhabi is going to be madness. Just watch. I hope so. Max is going to be balls to the wall, isn't he? He's got nothing to lose. Piastri, balls to the wall, nothing to lose. They may as well go all out. So yeah, listen guys, thanks so much for joining the stream. I will be back for some breaking news throughout the week. And obviously, don't forget, 7:30 Monday to Friday, we've got our live daily F1 news stream. So please join me for that. If you have enjoyed the stream, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't. And obviously join me tomorrow. All right, guys. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your Sunday. Ta-ta.